Hey, good morning. How are you all today? And yes, he's back. You all asked for him and said, "Where's Mark?" Get Mark back. Well, here he is. Here he's back.
Good morning.
And it is. We haven't talked in person since the election, so
Right.
I want to talk a little bit about that. And then I want our main subject today. I want to talk about. Actually, it's more of a statement. Now is the time to prepare, and we're going to talk about why that is.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yep.
Mark and I've been. I mean, we've been preparing for a long time.
Long time.
We've seen the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows and all that, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. And by the way, I should start off like this. Oh, are you? What are you drinking out your coffee out of now?
I got your shot placement.
Shot placement. Two of our favorite mugs. He's got the shot placement as everything mug, and I've got the Make America Great Again mug. And this is the time to do that. Where do we get those, Steve? Well, you get them from our website, stonemont.us. Use your mug to send a message. I should make that as a tag, shouldn't I?
That is a good
Like
tag.
marketing.
Yeah.
Use your mug
Yeah.
to send a message.
I mean, they don't have water coolers anymore, but that's exactly what this is great for.
That's right.
Take it to work.
Take it to work. Set it on your desk. Set it on your desk even when you leave your desk, so that that liberal that walks by your desk all the time will just get all buttered.
I think there's a lot of them.
Hey, have you heard? Oh, I forgot to say what I was going to say is welcome to everybody, all of the new people over on Patreon. It is great to have you, and you are finding out that what I said is that the Patreon community is fantastic, just unbelievable. If you're not with us, the link's down below. We welcome you. We invite you. There you go.
Yep.
You'll love it. You'll get a lot out of it.
Oh, definitely.
We got some smart people over there.
There's some very smart people. I've never gone on there and haven't learned something.
Isn't that the truth?
Hondo, Bob, and oh man, there's some really smart members on there.
Now, Mark doesn't say much over there. He should, because he's one of the really smart people. But the thing is, I know that because he doesn't talk that much. You know? And he's now working on a medical bag system that I've been after him to get on. And we'll get that. We'll let you know when those are ready, because I'll tell you, when you're looking for a medical bag, you want one that's designed by somebody who actually did it for a living for many, many years. And as I said before, Mark was a retired lieutenant off of the Johnson County Medac, paramedic. Years and years, he was one of their special operations medics, and is a CRN, emergency room nurse now. And I tell you, if he doesn't know it, you don't need it. Right?
That's right. Well, that's not right.
I sound like a car dealer.
Fine.
Well,
that's true though.
That's right.
I mean,
There's a lot of people out there doing things, and it's kind of like preparedness, and it's good. You know, people want to kind of pass along what they've heard or what they know. That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is, you learn from people who have actually done it.
Right.
You learn the most. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. So I haven't talked to you since the
right.
election. How you feeling about it?
Well, you know what? I feel like there's a lot of pressure that has been relieved. I think we got ourselves a nice 4-year, at least a reprieve, I would say. Right? Feel much better, especially knowing that in this country, 60% of the population decided to popularize Donald Trump, and he got that popular vote, which really sends home a message and stomps out any sort of like collusion or any of that stuff. Great, we got the electoral votes as it should have been. But the popular vote, that sends another cultural message that I think a lot of people don't realize yet, or maybe they're ignoring. And I think it's our young population, our working class, the people that don't want to pay $7 for butter in the grocery store. That are really
glad we don't live those places where you pay $7 for butter.
I know. If you're on the coast, you're feeling it. You're feeling it. You know, in the heartland, we're not as economically stretched because we have so much land, but and a lot of it comes from here, anyways. But but yeah, no, I'm feeling better. I'm cautious about it.
Yeah,
I hope our president-elect stays safe.
Yeah.
And I hope he does what he says and knows that everybody he knows in Washington now, and picks a good cabinet and doesn't get tempted by a bunch of people that want to keep their jobs and tell him things he wants to hear.
Right.
I hope that happens.
So true. It looks to me like this this Susan Summerall, what's the Wiles, that he just named as his chief of staff. Sounds like she's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We will see. Oh, by the way, have you? I just made one about this on the American Reversion Channel. Are you familiar with the 4B movement?
What movement?
The 4B.
Apparently not.
Oh, you're gonna love this one.
No.
All of the liberal women, all the blue-haired, tattooed, nose-ringed, either overweight or underweight, unattractive females have come together and they are going to deny sex to men. Do you think they really had to do that?
I don't think that's really a hill they want to die on, or was going to make much of an effect in the end.
Right.
I don't think that population probably wasn't going to contribute anyways.
That's right. You know, and like I said over there, we don't need those people procreating, and it's a way for them to make themselves feel as if they people wanted them, you know, and now they're going to be able to deny it.
This is Mark Cuban. He kind of shot himself in the foot, didn't he?
Oh, gosh. Cuban's such an idiot.
I mean,
he is an idiot.
How many strong women has Trump surrounded himself with? There's so many strong women out there. He recognized that. Has always recognized that.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many strong American women and are smart and are willing to put in the work and be leaders.
Right.
And he's recognized that, and he's taken advantage of that. And anybody that says otherwise is not paying attention.
No, and he always has. I mean, clear back, if you look back into his business path, and we're not going to make this a Trump video, but
I'm sorry.
No. I'm assuring them. Don't worry for the people who say, I don't want to hear about Trump. Well, but if you look back in his past, all the way through all of his companies and everything, he has always given. I wouldn't say given, because that sounds like they don't deserve it. But women have always played important parts at the executive and administrative levels of his companies.
Right.
So we'll see what's going to happen. And thank you all, you 4Bs, for shaving your heads and bleaching out your eyebrows. There was one girl that says, "I'm bleaching my eyebrows so that I will be even less attractive to men than I am." And I said, "Sweetie, you didn't have to do anything."
Yeah.
But so my thoughts on this. And now you remember back when Obama, because Mark and I worked at the hospital together. I was in security, he was an ER nurse, and we remember when Obama came and everybody got so scared. And of course it was because that Doomsday Prepper show was out, and the zombie show and all that, right?
Yeah.
Preparedness exploded, right?
Oh, it sure did. It was really popularized.
Everybody
did it.
And boy, I mean, because they were scared of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you all a sneak peek here. We're going to explain why fear, and I've said this before, fear is the wrong reason to prepare. And the time to prepare is now. We're going to get back to that. And so as long as they were scared, they were prepping, right?
Yeah, they were motivated.
Yeah, what happened when Trump got in the first time?
Everybody stopped.
That's right.
It's kind of like the show got canceled.
Yep.
And, well, kind of, it did peter out, really.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, unfortunately, people they rested on their laurels. They felt, okay, we're all safe now. Crisis averted.
Yeah, that's right.
That was exactly the wrong thing to do.
Exactly right. And that's because so many people in preparedness are driven emotionally. Mm-hmm. They're driven by fear as opposed to responsibility.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So now we have seen everybody started really prepping again under Biden. And now Trump's back in, and I'm afraid we're going to see the same thing. But I just watched another video. I won't say who it was. Mm-hmm. It's not a video that I agree much on, but I watch other videos to see what else is being spread out there, right? Sure. And they said, well, yeah, things are going to be good, but it could all be as, I don't know, something like, it could be a sneaky plan, or I don't know. I don't agree with that at all. I think, you're going to find what you look for. And if you're looking for a conspiracy, you're going to find one, whether it's true or not. And plenty of conspiracies are true. Yeah. But don't let your crisis Jones run your life.
True.
Don't say, oh, things are better, but let me throw it over to you now. Why is now the time to start really preparing?
Well, because first of all, with preparedness, this is not something you do over time. It's a lifestyle. If you make it part of your everyday, you don't get to the end and get to a crisis and have to make a mad dash to the store to for some reason buy bread and eggs and milk. For some reason, that's what everybody needs, and I guess toilet paper.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that because you already have the things that you need. You're already prepared, and you're not surprised by it. I think if you live your life with a general sense of responsibility and providence for yourself and for your family, then you're going to be ready for these uneventualities that come your way, whether it's climate related like a storm or a war, election, economical crisis, CME, EMP, all the things that people prepare for. You don't know what's coming. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what the future holds. So we need to take a balanced everyday approach.
Right.
Prepping every day, something every single day. I think you taught me that. I mean, I was prepping before I met you, but we've kind of grown in it together, especially as much time as we work together. And I think just doing a little bit every day, you don't have to be a millionaire to have the right preps. You just buy something every day, and you become self-reliant. And not only self-reliant in buying your preps, but as well as your career, as your work. I think finding multiple streams of income, always looking for the next thing not being complacent is how you be successful. I mean, I think I've always said that we are kind of, as human beings, we're kind of like fish. If you ever stop swimming, you die.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
Got to keep moving forward and always be looking for the next thing. I think that's how you last, and that's how you get to the point where someday you can have generational wealth and leave something to your children, and have not your only legacy just be your children. Actually, leave something for your children.
Right.
That's
exactly right. That's so many people that I see in the world. You probably do too. Tell me if you don't. That are kind of down on the lower levels, and I don't mean that. I don't mean to disparage anyone, but in the working classes or in the lower classes of preparedness, it just seems to be about survival. That bad things are always going to happen, and we just want to survive and all that. And I don't see enough people talking about building like you just talked about.
Right. Well, people are coming at it from fear. Everybody wants to make a fire 18 different ways, or get the newest Gucci gun part, or the things that are attractive or sexy, as you will, or the coolest, lightest tent. And they get mired down with this idea that you're going to disappear into the ether and hide.
Yeah.
And that's all coming from a place of fear. And I think when you start prepping, we've all been down that road. We've all seen that. Oh, okay, we start that way. At first, you're kind of like, oh my God, you're overwhelmed. There's so many things I got to do, and you can't do it overnight. And that's why people stay fearful. And then when something like this election cycle happens, things get there's light at the end of the tunnel. Things look like they might be a little better. People are less fearful, and so the pressure comes off and they slack off. In which the opposite should happen. You should actually be turning it up. And this is your opportunity to build some depth in your preparedness and your mindset and your readiness for anything that does happen. Because there's always going to be something to happen. There's always going to be a next thing.
Always. Like these people that I see occasionally on YouTube and say, something's coming. I can feel it. And I think, well, of course you can feel it. Something's always coming, right? If you don't know something's coming, you haven't been paying attention all of your life. But, one of the reasons that now is the time to prepare is because things are going to get better. Things are going to get cheaper.
Right.
Now, can I see the future? Well, only because I can see the past. Trump is great economically. He's a businessman, and he is going to get some things taken care of. We're going to see prices come down. We're going to see price of gas come down. We're going to see inflation come down. We're going to see the price of food and all that. And prices and inflation are not the same. I'm not going to get into that right now. But we are going to see these things go back under a good manager, okay, as opposed to a communist. Very simple. And so now is the time that while things may be getting better, this is the time to really ramp up your preparedness. As prices come down, get out there and give more stuff.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of stupid stuff, all right? If you've got 19 guns, you don't need a 20th gun unless you're doing it for investment, and I understand that entirely, okay? But be smart. Now Mark is looking for land. I'm always looking for land. But how many years was it when I was telling everybody, don't buy land, it's too high, right? I mean, it's been 5-6 years, right?
Yeah.
Don't buy land, it's too high. Don't buy stocks, they're too high. Now, yeah, they kept going up, kept going up. But they're going to come down.
Yeah.
And that's the time to buy. Patience is so important. And yes, I think it's one of the things that's getting away a lot of people. They want it now. They don't want to be a patient. Yes. But Mark's looking for land, and I'm looking for more land, and the prices are going to come down. Now, we've seen the economic system is, I mean, it's brutal. They've been covering this up for a long time to try to make Biden and Harris look better, right?
Yeah.
The jobs numbers were horrible. Inflation is far above what they're admitting.
Oh, that job report that came out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's the worst that I can recall in my lifetime.
Yeah, I don't think it's been worse. And that was right before the election, too. But people didn't even need to know that. They already knew.
They did. But, that also is situational. I saw another video today where they're saying nobody can find a job. Okay, that's wrong, guys. Stop wallowing in the negativity. I'll mention my son. Mark knows Aiden very well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Aiden is 18 years old. He's assistant manager at a crumble cookie. He works with me all the time on this. He door dashes. He just got something else. He's opening booths in the Painted Tree to sell things that he has made. This kid can't come down the steps in the morning without thinking about a new way to make money.
Well, yeah, he's looking at real estate. I mean,
he's getting into real estate.
Talk about a future enterpriser, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And if you have that mindset, if you have that drive, you're going to do well. You're going to do well. Don't let the negativity of negative people hold you back. It'll hold them back, but don't let them hold you back. Right?
Right.
This is going to be a good time, I think, going forward in the next 4 years anyway, you think?
Oh, I agree. I think this is, it could be the beginning of something really big, especially if after 4 years we could continue this if we have some success. And I think there's a cultural shift in our young people in this country as well. And I'm happy to see that, particularly for our young men out there that have been told that they are worthless or racist or misogynist. And
he has a son who sees it very clearly. Yeah, my son.
Yeah, they've been living with it and they're fed up with it. And it's they're working class men, and they're tired of it. And it's it doesn't just have to be the ones that were raised here. The people that are immigrating to this country. They're hard workers too.
They are.
They're great people. They're hard workers. A lot of them are. It doesn't matter what their religion is, whether they're Christians or Muslims, or they want to be Americans, and they should be shown a correct path to success here. And they're coming here for a reason, because it's better than where they were from.
And we understand that many of them are criminals. Okay, so don't anybody come on and say, yeah, but they're bringing in Tren de Agua, and we understand all that. We're talking about the majority of people here.
Yeah.
And, I tell you what, our country has bred such a weenie class of men. And we probably ought to do a whole video on this, but I blame men for everything that has happened with our country. And I know some people will think that's unfair, but let me explain just quickly, because I'm going to do just a quick blurb here on Man Up. And I've been meaning to do a whole thing on this. back in the early 70s, I started seeing commercials when the man was the idiot, right?
Oh, yeah.
The man was the idiot. The woman was, she had all the answers. He was clueless. She had to tell him what to do, and he just, and even all the kids, even though he was the one making the money at the time, and of course I know that a lot of times now the women are also making money.
Sure.
Back then it wasn't quite like that. Women might have worked, but very few of them were making the same money that the man was. He was the primary breadwinner. Mm-hmm. But even though apparently he was smart enough to support a family, he wasn't smart enough to make the smallest little decisions in life, right? And so his wife and kids, went through just rolling their eyes at him, and that took hold.
It did. Well, it made for good comedy at first, but at first it was comedy relief. It's fine and you should be able to take a joke or be the butt of a joke.
You can laugh at yourself.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. But at some point, it changed over to comedy. To, hey, that's actually the truth. People sort of believe in that.
Exactly. It's like black guys making fun of black guys, right?
Yeah. Nothing's
funnier than a black comedian making fun of black folks, right? I mean, you and I can't do it.
No.
I mean, Quincy could do it, but we can't. But the thing is, like Mark said, this didn't stay comedy. This turned into a destructive force in our society.
Well, we saw the same thing with, and more recently, a good example is with comedians. I mean, comedians, they were not able to actually tell the jokes they used to joke. It used to be safe. You could get up there. You went to a comedy show. You knew that you were going to be told jokes and satire, and they were going to poke fun at religion and race and sex, and you went there expecting that. Well, at some point, it didn't matter who the comedian was or what their ethnicity was or what their color of skin was. They weren't allowed to say that. People were actually reacting to them in the audience because they were, quote-unquote, triggered.
Yeah.
And because they weren't there to see comedy, they were there to be emotionally triggered about things that weren't true.
Right.
And that's where we have fallen off. People have lost the ability to see the forest through the trees, if you will, to laugh and enjoy the simple things of life, be able to laugh at themselves, but also realize that a lot of that is not true. It's satire. It's there for entertainment purposes. It's not there to take it into your heart and soul and use it as a guide for life.
Right, but a whole section of our society did that. The weak men, which is the majority of men, I'll be real honest with you right now, and that's too bad. The majority of men are weak men, and they succumb to this, and they too many of them said, well, if I can go through life just acting like a buffoon and like a grown kid playing my video games, and I don't have to shoulder the responsibility of a man leading a family and supporting a family, I'm okay with that as long because I've got a strong woman who will tell me what to do, blah, 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 right?
Right.
And where I blame the men on this is that way back when the women's lib movement started, and that a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle kind of stuff, and there was a small group of very angry women, failures in life, to be honest. They may not have been failures in the academic world, but they were failures in life. They didn't have good relationships. Rush used to say that the women's lib movement was to allow unattractive women access to society, something like that. But then everybody else started coming on, and nobody would attack them because they were women. Because you can't attack a woman. They are off. You can't tell a woman that they're wrong, right?
Right.
Because then you're a sexist. You're a misogynist. You can't tell them they're wrong. And this is done as much against women, I think, as it has against men. When it got to the point to where nothing that a man does is right or can't be corrected or improved by a woman, and nothing that a woman says or does can be called wrong. Now we have such an imbalance in the basic makeup of our social structure that it's almost impossible to come back from it, except through individual concerted effort.
True. Yeah, there's definitely a division in gender, and the roles got muddied along the way when people started started thinking that, well, anything that a woman can do or a man can do, a woman can do, and that is true. But maybe not. But men and women are essentially different. Like, and you see that in sports. We've seen that problem in sports. I don't think it's fair that you put men up against women in sports, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. That doesn't mean that there aren't some great, amazing athletes out there and women in their own right, but we're
competing with other women.
Yeah, but we're made differently, and
men are stronger.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we both can't be leaders and heroes in our own right, in our own profession, in our own sport. But that doesn't mean that one's better than the other. It's just that, unfortunately, like many things along the way, people started believing that, oh, well, no, that is true.
Yeah,
that we are the same. No, we're really not.
No, we can all be the best in our area.
Yes, but we're not the same, and we're supposed to be different.
Right. And so what I say that I blame men is because men didn't have to roll over for this, but they did.
But they did.
And without strong men leading families and communities and all that, you're going to have strong women having to fill the void, and it doesn't work out as well. Okay? Yeah. I mean, look at all. I mean, simple as that. You look at the difference between. I know we're getting off of preparedness here, but it's really not off of it, because I talk about this in my first book, don't I?
Yeah.
You look at the single mother family. Mm-hmm. It is simply not as successful as a single dad family.
It's not statistically.
Or a the ideal of a mother and a father. So anyway, I'm going to do a whole one on that one.
Yeah.
Because I do blame the men for not standing up.
Well, and I'll just add one more thing to that, and that's that I see a lot of strong women out there that are especially single women, maybe single mothers, and they're very strong and they're very successful, and they end up with a weak man. Mm-hmm. And that's sad, because what that tells me is that they settled.
Yep.
The woman settled, and the man got whatever he could get. And what I feel when I see that is that woman deserves a man that is stronger than her. That if she's if there's a such thing as an alpha female, she deserves an alpha male, right?
Yep.
Not a beta male, not somebody that's weaker than her.
True.
If you're a strong person, strong-willed and successful, you need to be with a strong person.
And that means emotionally and mentally too. Yeah. It's not physical.
No.
I mean, we both know bodybuilders and big guys that are just emotional wrecks.
Right.
And they don't have the strength. Strength comes internally. Let's see if we got a couple of minutes to wrap this up.
Okay.
Well, I guess we do. So we're at 28 minutes, and I allow myself 30 minutes on these. So now's the time to prepare.
Yeah, keep preparing. Building up all your preps. Focus on your career. Make money.
That's it. Right.
Make money.
Now's the time to do it. It's going to be a lot easier coming in under Trump to make money than it was under Biden.
Support each other.
So it's time to this is really going to show who are the ones that really want to do better and who just want to whine.
True.
Who just want to say, oh, it's bad, and we can't get ahead, and blah, blah, blah.
Excuses.
Right. True preparedness is building your life to allow you to be independent of the external systems over which you have little or no control, and being able to pass that on intergenerationally to your children, grandchildren, and all that. Separate yourself from a system that does not care about you.
That's right. Agreed.
Well, I'm sure you all enjoyed having Mark back. I've been trying to tell him he needs his own channel. What do you all think? Pipe in on that. And he'll be back frequently, but it's going to be a better day in America now. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect. We could have some hiccups. We could have some problems. But better times are coming, and better times is not the time to relax it's the time to double your effort so that when bad times come again, you're going to be ready. Okay? All right. Well, like we say, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. We want to make America great again, and remember that shot placement is everything. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.